think that I want to date a woman, but I don't. I want a motherfucking monster cock!
What is up, guys? It's CP the Monster Gamer. I believe that's Brittany Palmer. Oh, she just blew me a kiss. Oh, I love you, babe. I love you. Alright, so let's check this out. This is UFC Undisputed 3. This gameplay is freaking awesome. I'm really liking this game a lot. I mean, I only played it a couple times, but I'm definitely going to buy it. And I'm going to buy it for, well, one, they changed the fighting mechanics. It's a little bit more fluid. And the other thing is they're going to have the Pride arenas and the Pride old school, some of the old school Pride fighters. Now, if you're a UFC buff, you already know that a lot of the Pride fighters got absorbed into the UFC, of course, when UFC bought them out and the Pride organization went corrupt and all that. But I'm excited because I think that'll be badass, and that alone is worth a purchase. Plus, you know, it'll have all the new fighters and stuff like that. It'll have some new updates, and the fighting mechanics seem to be pretty solid. I was having a blast playing this. Of course, on Bones Jones and versus Anderson Silva, I would love to see that fight one of these days. Who knows? Who knows? But in some news, UFC news, real quick, Alistair Overreem was not, now guys, he wasn't convicted, but he was charged with a misdemeanor for battery in Las Vegas. I don't know the extent. I don't really know any of the details really, but I just know he was charged, and he could, if he is found guilty, he could serve 6 months in jail. I highly doubt Dana White will allow that. I mean, remember when Rampage Jackson went nuts off Monster Energy? Basically, didn't he kill? I think he almost killed a woman, or maybe he did. I don't know. And he got out of it. Pretty crazy. He literally went on a rampage, and Dana White got him out of it. So, sure, Alistair Overeem's fine. Also, as far as the UFC 143 is concerned, they're not going to have the Gladiator intros anymore, guys. I'm a little sad about it. Like, I feel like I get pumped every time I see that intro, and now they better have something badass. I know Dana White's been talking about this forever, but I'm really hoping that, I don't know, I'm hoping something, it's going to be something epic. So, we'll see. Alright, so let's get into my picks. I'm only going to focus on the three main fights, guys. There's a lot. I could go over every single fight, but I wanted to focus on Josh Koscheck versus Mike Pierce. Koscheck, obviously, he beat Matt Hughes. I'm going with Koscheck. The guy's a madman. Yes, he's been out forever, but I really think he can beat Mike Pierce. I don't think it's really, it's a good matchup for Josh Koscheck, I feel. I don't know what the books say. I didn't check that fight, but I'm pretty sure that Koscheck's gonna win. I'd say actually he's gonna knock him out. Yeah, I know. Second round. Rory Nelson versus Werdum. Now Werdum, if you guys aren't familiar, he fought in the UFC, I believe, and he also, but mainly he's been in Strikeforce. He's been doing really good. I think Nelson's on another level though. I think I don't know. I think it's gonna be a war, and I know this is gonna sound crazy too, but I'm gonna go with Nelson. I'm gonna go with Roy Nelson on that fight. Jeez, knockout or I guess knockout third round. Now, the biggest fight ever in the UFC history, the one that I'm so excited about, one of the biggest fights ever. I think this is gonna be fight of the year. Nick Diaz versus Carlos Condit, the natural born killer. You gotta be kidding me. This is gonna be epic. Oh my goodness. Oh jeez. I don't know who to pick, to be honest with you, because I love both fighters. Carlos Condit, I followed him since the WEC days, so I love that guy, but I think Nick Diaz is gonna pull out the win. And I kind of want Nick Diaz to win this fight, whether it's knockout or decision, only because I think he has the best chance out of any fighter in the UFC to beat GSP. That's who Nick Diaz is the chosen one. I believe Nick Diaz will beat George St. Pierre hands down whenever they do eventually fight. George is, of course, scared of Nick Diaz. Easy win for him. So I'm picking Nick Diaz decision. I think it's just going to be a crazy battle at 5 rounds. Nah, fuck that. Nick Diaz, knockout, 4th round. So there you go, guys. Those are my picks. Disagree with them, let me know about some of the other fights, who you got going. And that's that. Peace. Be good or be good at it. Take care. I'm out. Yo, guys, I'm actually back. I wanted to mention that Nick Diaz is the biggest psycho ever in UFC history. So I think that although Carlos Condit is a crazy psycho too, he's a little bit nicer, and that's why I think Nick Diaz is going to win. And I also think the psycho factor has got into GSP's head, and I think that's why Nick Diaz has the biggest chance to beat GSP. He's probably the one guy who can actually beat him. So that's that. Never eat soggy waffles. I'm really out. Or am I?
Yells.